Hi, I'm Michael Nadalin from Market Lead, and today's video is me showing you a live landing page that did over $3 million last year from our advertising. This came directly from our ads, so the business did more than $3 million, but $3 million came directly from this landing page, from the leads that we generated for them. They only spent $34,000 in ads last year, so they had over an 88 times return on ad spend, which is extremely strong. Now, we've got another client at the moment who has about 125 return on ad spend, and I wanted to show their landing page, but because of the branding and all the elements of it, and just for privacy reasons, I can't share it. But that did over $11 million in direct sales last year as well, using the exact same format, the exact same layout. Now, this landing page may look different from traditional landing pages that you've seen in the past, but at the same time, it will have a lot of elements. The reason why we do it this way is because it works. We've had the experience of running ads over the last 10 years, spending over $106 million on ads. So these are all the elements over that 10 years and over that $100 million experience that generates leads that turn into sales. So if this does look different from what you expect, good, you'll learn something new. So before we go in today, I wanted to actually just go through what most people see as a high converting landing page. So if you just go to Google and look up high converting landing page, the typical templates that you see will be different from what I'm showing. And I know why they're high converting, but they're actually high converting, low quality landing pages. So let's jump in here. I've literally just written in high converting landing page examples in Google. And when you look at all of these landing page examples, they're all templates. They're not actually live businesses that are actually getting results. So that's the real challenge when you look at these landing pages. They're actually just templates. They're not actually proven to have delivered the results. So if you look through here, you can start to notice a few elements on these that they're pretty stock standard templatey. Now, if you're trying to sell a lot, you need to make sure that your business does look unique. And if you did use something like this, you'd start to look very generic very fast. Most businesses, the biggest risk with their landing pages are they actually use a lot of stock images. So what we've realized with all the clients that have made excessive amounts of money from our advertising and lead pages that we've designed is they actually have a lot of original creative and content, being video and imagery as well. So if you look at all these examples right now, whilst they may claim to be high converting, I actually doubt that they are. Now, I did scroll down here before and I noticed one that actually caught my interest, which is this one here. Now, I can guarantee you this is a high converting landing page. This is probably converting at 20 to 40%, but the real risk with it is it's a low quality value offer. So it's basically deals for real life, and then also asking for an email and a zip code. Very low commitment, but also very low quality data for any business to use. So just be aware with high converting landing pages, the reason why they convert so high for a lot of businesses is because they're actually asking for data that doesn't really matter, or actually incomplete data as well. So let's go back to this landing page. I'm going to just show it in the format of the back end of our landing page software, and then I'll show it into the actual live version of it. Now, remove the branding and the logo just to protect the company, just because this is their private data. But at the same time, if you really wanted to reverse engineer it, I'm sure you'd be able to find this landing page. So if you can see here, we've got a really big form here, but this form, when it's actually live on the landing page, is shorter. But the reason why I wanted to show this beforehand is because the goal of a landing page is to get market qualified leads, but more importantly, sales qualified lead. So what's a market qualified lead? Basically, a market qualified lead is a lead that just gives you their name, phone number, and email, and they're legit. Basically, that it's not spam. Now, a lot of businesses get that, and that's good. But the biggest risk for a lot of businesses that get a lot of leads is the time capacity and the financial resources needed to follow up those leads, even with email automation as well. When you're trying to sell high ticket or high value items, you actually need to create a relationship with people. So getting more information from them on the front end means when you start initially connecting with them, you're connecting with where they're at, not you having to discover more things that you could have just asked 3 or 4 more questions for. So with this client, we start off with name, email, and phone number. And then the next one is Suburb, because we actually do want to understand where they're from. With a lot of other clients, I tend to ask for postcode, because we usually notice that postcode in a geographic area compared to the business is actually really important, has a high correlation to sales. But in this term, we just use suburbs because they're doing kitchen renovations. They want to know how far or how close the leads are. Now, the other important point about Suburb is because of the nature of advertising and how IP addresses work and how Facebook and Google allow some targeting, they actually allow people to outside those regions or your targeting area to come in. So this is a really good way to qualify and see if Facebook or Google are actually targeting outside the zones that you've targeted. So that's the market qualified leads. Now we're trying to move into the sales qualified leads aspect. So actually asking questions to ensure that people have the capacity or actually desire to go through with what your product or service is. So with this, we ask, what do you want? Do you just want an information brochure? And a lot of the times in the past when we're giving out brochures, people would just say they want brochures. But what they really wanted was pricing. So we made it really clear that the brochure does not have pricing, but if they wanted a free custom on-site quote, that would obviously be pricing, or if they wanted both as well. Now, this is something that I've noticed across a lot of businesses is that most people, when they're coming to a landing page or a lead page, they actually want to know more about the product or service, but also just the price range as well. So if you do make it clear that whatever action they want to take will give the price or won't give the price, that will actually make a big difference in your team's ability to contact them. Because if people are just wanting an information brochure, sometimes they just don't want to be contacted. They're at the start of their journey. It doesn't matter. If someone actually does want pricing, then they elect for a custom on-site quote, then you're starting to move them already down that sales journey without even needing to talk to them, because you are setting the expectation or the frame up front. Now, the next two things which I find really important, so many people think sales qualified leads are basically, are they interested in what I do and how much money do they have? But the other thing that I've noticed that's really important is actually time frame. Like, are they looking now or are they looking for 6 to 12 months time? So this is a big element that we discovered across so many clients, is really discovering the time frame. Because if someone is really wanting to buy right now, you want to address that person right now before they go to a competitor. There are so many times in my life when I leave things to the last moment and I'll literally just go with the company who gets back to me first, because I know that I need to get this settled, I need to get this done, and I don't have time to mess around. So in that case, I always ask for all of our clients, what is your time frame to purchase, or how long do you want it to take to get started? So we start with things like immediately or the next X amount of time. It could be 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6, 6 plus, and then unsure. Because also with all of these things as well, you want to give people the ability to say they don't know, because if they do elect for something and they're just saying that because that's an option, you're actually going to get incomplete data as well. Now, the last one that you can see here is obviously your approximate budget. It's very interesting across so many industries, the nature of people's expectations about how much something should cost. Sometimes people expect a full kitchen renovation to cost $5,000, and sometimes they think it's going to cost $60,000. So when we put in your approximate budget, that's based on trying to understand where someone's at financially. Because if you have all this information and you realize someone's budget is $50,000 plus, for example, you know you want to prioritize that lead versus someone who's like, I just want an information brochure, I'm not sure, and less than $10,000. So this gives your team, your sales team, and anyone in the company the understanding of which leads are hotter to follow up. Once again, if we go back to the here and we had a lead form like give us your email and your location and your name, if there's 100 leads that come through a month or 300 leads, which ones do you prioritize? You're going to have to prioritize based on the feedback that you get from calling them. Most people won't answer immediately. Most people won't actually give you that honest answer up front as well. So the ability to do this really cuts down on that time and effort and energy following up and actually figuring out which leads are the most qualified. And the other thing I always think is if you do know someone's a highly qualified lead with a high budget and a close time frame to purchase, you'd be wanting to follow up those people consistently and continually until you contact them. Versus if you just get a lead off this, you're not going to follow up someone 3, 5, 10 times because you don't even know if they're even interested as well. So that's the first place to start. Now we're going to go back to the more important things, which are things like headlines, subheadlines, and creative on the page as well. So with all the landing pages that we do, and this is what I've found over time, especially from running advertising, is when you look at most websites, they're really designed around the brand. Now that's fine, but the headlines are usually not that clear. With advertising, running ads, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars going to landing pages, you want to make sure that it's really clear what you do. There are so many times that I click on ads and go to a landing page and I'm like, is this even the right page? Is this even relevant to what I'm looking for? So I want to always make sure that there's the keywords in it. So this would be beautiful kitchens, renovations in location. Now, I always put descriptive words around it just to obviously enhance it. I just don't want it to be like some SEO looking website. But this lets people know that they're a page about doing kitchen renovations in their city. There are also times when I look up ads and I'm in Melbourne and they're showing ads in Sydney, which is thousands of kilometers away. That is the issue with a lot of advertising and poor advertising is people actually have a poor experience, especially for local based businesses. So with your headlines, I always recommend keep them simple, keep them direct, keep them with the keywords in them, being at the product or service and the price as well. Now, as we swipe down, we'll see this HTML code here, which I'm actually just going to go to the landing page and I'll just show you the example. So this landing page, when someone does come to it, it will have this headline, the form start, and then also the beautiful video as well. And I'll talk about the creative in a moment as well. But you can see basically from the start, this creative is stunning. It's clear what they do. You know, if you're looking for kitchen renovations in this location, and then you actually see this video, you're actually going to go, okay, this is a legitimate business that I want to interact with. Now, looping back, I'm going to keep jumping around here because there's so many aspects to these landing pages. Is you can see we've got this long form here, but here we've got a short form. Now, the reason why we've got the short form here is I've noticed from the data that the less questions you have, the higher the conversion rate, which you can obviously see here. But the more questions you have, the lower the conversion rate, but the higher the quality of the lead. So one thing I've been working on over the last few years is how to actually get the benefit of high conversion rates with high quality data. And then I discovered just actually, it's really simple. I do not see this anywhere. People are either just doing short forms or they're doing long forms, is doing multi-step forms. So actually having a multi-step form where people just go, okay, cool, I'm putting a little bit of information in, for example, like this, and then press next, and then just a few more bits more information, next. So I'll just put in Melbourne. That's not my number, by the way, don't try and call me. And then just some of those information questions, next. When you're looking to do it 6+ months, and my budget is here as well. So request brochure and pricing. So by doing that, it allows people to go through more of a flow rather than seeing a huge form, which can be really overwhelming for a lot of people. And they feel like they're giving too much data over. So this actually allows people to feel like they're just filling in something simply, but you're actually just taking them down the trail to get all that enriched data that you want for your landing page. Now, before scrolling further, it is really important just to remember the hero section is where people start to see your business. So you really want to be clear, once again, what your business does, some visual imagery so people actually know it. It bypasses their critical factor where they can just go, wow, I'm seeing beautiful kitchens. It must be legit. And a form just saying request brochure and pricing. Within a few moments, within a few seconds, they know this is a kitchen renovation company in this location. They do great kitchens, and this is how I get my information. That's it. If you just did those things, that's 80% of the success. But as we scroll down, I'm going to take you through some more things. So this is where you get into more of the information, real images, starting to get the information where if people do want to do their further research. Most people don't. They actually just want to start taking action and moving on with their life. But as we go down here, you can start to see that it's really enriched by a lot of real imagery, really high quality imagery. This is the difference between high converting landing pages and low converting landing pages that actually get that enriched data, is that they have real images. It's a real business. People can see that this is real and it's not some fake scammy businesses, especially in the renovation space and even the trades-based space. So much imagery is stock imagery, and so many people don't trust it, especially if you're in different countries. Stock images can look very Americanized, which is fine if you're in America, but if you're in other countries, it doesn't look sincere and it makes you actually question the quality of the business and the company. The other thing you'll notice going through the page is there's call to action buttons basically in every section. So the main thing is also when people are scrolling down, the goal of the landing page or the lead page is to get people to take action. So throughout the whole page and every page we do, I literally have the buttons all scattered through just to get people to go back up to that main point as well. Now, going through this landing page, we can see also more images and more descriptions of the different elements of the business. Now, looking at the heat maps, most people do scroll down this further section, but they don't stay here that long. But it's also just to show, hey, we do all of these things. Here's the imagery and here's a bit of information. So all this enriched information enriches someone's journey to know that this is the type of company I want to work with. And then next, things like testimonials, happy customers' faces, before and afters, just questions and answers, and then just more information down there. So these are all the elements of the landing pages that we do at Market Lead. A lot of these elements people do talk about, and they're great. There's a lot of elements that we haven't put in here, which we still should. But this landing page has done over $3 million last year with an 88x return on ad spend. Like, this makes money. We have another client that did over $11 million from a very similar themed and designed landing pages. We've got other clients that are much more new that are doing over millions of dollars in quotes. They haven't turned into sales yet, but millions and millions of dollars in quotes just from the same format as well. Whilst this may seem simple, this is a bit different from most landing page videos. And I do acknowledge that the implementation is the actual hard part. So actually getting the imagery, knowing the text, knowing the content, knowing how to set up the integrations, knowing how to feed the right data back into the ad account so you're attracting the right type of people as well. So I'm going to leave it there. I thought this was going to be a short video, but obviously it wasn't. So if you've got any thoughts or questions about this live landing page, well, this isn't the live one. This one here is. If you have any questions or thoughts, put them in the comments below, DM me, reach out to Market Lead, because this is a new area of our business that we've been doing for over a year. And the reason why we're having such a powerful impact, because we're taking all the advanced data side from Google Ads, Facebook Ads, data analysis, mixed in with direct response landing pages that actually convert as well. So I'll leave it there, but remember, like, comment, share, and subscribe, but most importantly, enjoy.